Hey there, have you ever thought about starting a farm stand but felt unsure where to begin? Maybe you've got a table out front but you want to take it to the next level. Today I'm going to share with you some practical advice from our book, The 5-Figure Farm Stand, a guide for launching and scaling to $10,000. These are the exact steps that my wife and I use to grow our farm stand here in Ohio, where we sell handcrafted lavender products, milk, and natural non-toxic wellness products. Ready to get started? Let's dive in. So, starting a farm stand. Are you going to make this a side hustle or a business? It does not matter which direction you want to go in. At the end of the day, you get to decide if you want this to be simply a side hustle or if you want to set it up as a business. We're going to talk about setting up as a business, but you've got to answer 4 questions first. You need to know the why, the what, the who, and the how. Why are you going to do this? What are you going to sell? Who are you going to sell it to? And how are you going to do it? All right, so why do you want to start a side hustle or a business? It's a question that everybody has to answer when they are just getting started. There's a reason why you want to do this. Maybe it's because you want extra income. Maybe it's because you've set a goal that you want to spend the night away in a hotel and you want to have extra money that's not coming out of your normal 9-to-5 money. Maybe it's you simply just want to cover the cost of your seeds as you grow your produce next year. Maybe it's extra time with your family. You want to have extra income so you can have extra time with your family. Maybe it's extra time away from something. Hopefully that's not your family, but maybe that's extra time away from your 9-to-5 job. Maybe it's extra time away from late nights watching TV. Maybe it's you want to escape your 9-to-5. You actually want to get out of the traditional workforce and you want this to become your income source. Or maybe it's something totally different. Either way, you have to understand what is your why for starting this thing. Whether it's going to be a side hustle, a business, a ministry, just an outlet. Why do you want to start it? Next, what do you want to sell or offer to somebody? Do you want to sell a product, a service, or just simply offer information to someone? So first, do you want to sell a product? So typically a farm stand is going to be through, produce, maybe it's through selling seeds, maybe it's through baked goods, maybe it's through products that you are handcrafting. Think about soaps, lotions, salves, cosmetics, things like that. Traditionally, when people think about selling a product for a business, they're thinking maybe multi-level marketing options like essential oils or cosmetics or wellness products. Maybe they're thinking about making their own product. Again, it could be baked goods. Maybe it's woodworking, sign making, t-shirt making, making clothing, making jewelry. There's a lot of options. Maybe it's that you want to grow something. You want to raise something. You want to grow something. Thinking about produce, plants. Maybe that's meat. You raise chickens, you raise cattle, you raise pigs. You want to grow something or raise something to then sell. And lastly, maybe it's through buying something and then reselling it. So wholesale, retail, that aspect. So you're going to buy a product for a lower cost, you're going to retail it for a higher cost, and you're going to net the difference. Maybe it's you're going to sell a service. All right, so traditionally, people can then go through and sell sort of a service. So thinking about something that your community is missing. You're helping someone do something. And your community might be landscaping, detailing, traditional service-based industries like HVAC, plumbing, electric. Maybe it's excavating, house cleaning, tax prep, home repair. What a service could look like through your farm stand is maybe you're going to help someone produce those products. You're going to sell your service of baking. You're going to sell your service of making something, signs, things like that. And lastly, you're going to offer information. So that's kind of the third outlet of a business, is offering information that's helpful. Sometimes that's through blogging, YouTube content, podcasting, offering local discussions such as like at a library, a community center, a church, a club, so on and so forth. So after you have the why, then you have to figure out what you want to sell or offer. Next, who are you going to sell that product or service or information to? So who needs your product? Who needs your service? Who needs your information? So as an example, maybe it's a mom living with children at home and they're simply looking for healthier food options. Think about sourdough bread. Think about jams and jellies that are freshly made, or produce that's freshly grown, or grown, organically raised. You can think about services such as, an HVAC owner needing to increase their air filter sales, or barbers and salon owners looking for a sharpening service. You could offer that through your farm stand. Pastors who are looking to increase church attendance, homeowners wanting a home appliance repair service. So when you start thinking about a business or a side hustle, you have to think about who wants your product, who wants your service, who wants to come get your produce, who wants to come get your jams or jellies or sourdough bread. One common misconception that people have is, I can just sell food to anybody. Yes, it's true that everybody has to eat, but not everybody has to eat your food. Not everybody needs your jams or your jellies. Not everyone needs to have your bread or your muffins or fill in the blank. Not everyone needs your goat's milk soap or your tallow lotion or tallow soap. Not everybody needs that or wants that. So the question is, who wants that product? Who wants that service? And how do you know who wants that product or service? Great question. You ask them. So how will you offer your product, your service, your information? There's two main ways of selling something or offering something. One is actively selling, so doing it face to face, door to door. Maybe it's telephone orders, maybe it's online sales. But it's actively doing it. So in real time, you are doing this in front of somebody through some venue, through some option. Just because you are having a farm stand that might be more passively driven does not mean that you are not actively selling. So as an example, if you have a stand that you're putting on your front porch, you can still walk out to that person and talk to them and upsell them and relate to them and build a relationship with them. The second option, which is one that some people typically find as being the easier of the two routes, they're both active, but passive sales. And I have passive in quotation marks because there is still work that's done. There is no business, there is no side hustle that exists where you can just push a button and walk away. There is still work that has to be done. There's work that has to be done on the back end. There's work that has to be done on the front end. So some traditional passive routes would be selling online through a storefront. Maybe it's you set up a simple one-page website and you take the products that you offer on your farm stand and you offer to sell that to somebody through an online portal. It's passive in the sense that you're not manning the farm stand online, the website online, but it's active in the sense that you have to load your products or services on there. You have to then package the items. You have to then ship the items. So there's still work that has to be done, and you have to make the items. So number two would be selling online through social media. So sometimes you will find that people will put something out on their personal page and they will say, comment this word underneath, or drop this emoji underneath. Or maybe it's they actually have a button on their social media page where somebody can click buy now. That's another option. Another option for passive sales is offering a drop-off and pickup location. Maybe that's at your home, such as your porch, a farm stand, or maybe that's out in the community, like a community location of some sort. Again, there is still active work that's being done, but it might feel more passive for you. A few other items that are truly more passive, again, still requiring some active involvement, would be digital downloads, ebooks, courses, running ads or affiliate products, or having affiliate links. So a digital download or an ebook could simply be how to bake with sourdough, how to create sourdough products, how to make jams or jellies. It could be a simple thing like that. It could be a recipe. It could be a step-by-step guide to growing your sourdough. It could also be how to save seeds. It could be growing awesome tomatoes. So there's lots of ways that you could go through and have passive income or passive streams tied back in with your active sales source. So let's kind of put this back together and look and see what this looks like for your farm stand, whether it's a side hustle or a business. You cannot wait until everything is perfect to get started. All right? Procrastination is our worst enemy. We want everything to be perfect before we get started. Now, that's not saying that you're not going to make something look nice, but don't wait until everything is just picture perfect before you launch something. Number 2, start with a table, a tent, maybe a few just reliable products, jams, jellies, soaps, baked goods, produce from your garden. You can start with something small. Just because you want a farm stand that might be this big, beautiful thing, doesn't mean that you can't start with a simple card table on your front porch or a simple table underneath a tent in your yard. The biggest thing is consistency truly matters more than the size at the beginning. Most of your customers, if your customers truly care, they will understand that this person's just getting started. It does not have to be this big, beautiful monstrosity. It doesn't have to be this beautiful boutique. It can simply be a cabinet on your front porch with your amazing items. But you have to be consistent in showing up and producing amazing stuff. So, how do you know what your customers want or need? Ask them. Ask them what they want. Do they love specific things like raw milk, fresh bread, herbs? Do they want more produce items or baked goods? Listening builds trust, and trust is going to provide repeat business. So when I say ask them what they want, put on social media on your personal page, hey, I'm thinking about starting a farm stand. I would love to be able to offer you sourdough bread, sourdough muffins. I would love to offer you fresh fruits and veggies grown organically without the use of chemicals or pesticides. What are your thoughts? And see what people do. See how they respond. I will tell you from experience that your friends and your neighbors and your family members may not buy from you, and that's okay. But if you don't ask, you'll never find out. So, put on social media, tell me more about X. Maybe that's tell me more about where you find strawberry jam and jellies. And if people respond in your community, maybe there's an interest with that. Maybe the market is just so saturated that no one's going to buy that same thing. It does help to find a niche item or a niche product or a niche service, something that's not widely available, but is incredibly valuable. But here's the thing. When you put your name out there, people will engage with that. Ask your customers and your future customers what they would like to see. But don't just stop with one question. Rephrase the question several ways. Put out some informational content about that thing. Maybe that's, let's think about jams and jellies. Maybe it's what do you like to put strawberry jam on? Are you a sourdough fan? Or are you a wheat bread fan? Do you love tallow lotion? Or do you love goat's milk lotion? There are ways of asking questions about your products that people will engage with, and they will certainly share. But you have to build trust. Lastly, or next, make it inviting. Presentation truly counts. Simple chalkboard signs, neat tables, maybe a few flowers. These things make it feel inviting, and they drive people to stop. When it feels cozy, it feels welcoming, it feels engaging, people want to stop, they want to shop, they want to explore. Now, everyone who visits your farm stand may not buy, and that's okay. You also don't have to make this stand so beautiful and so time consuming for you that it becomes a drain and a drag for you. It needs to be simple enough to where you can set it up and you can take it down and you can continue to produce amazing high quality value driven items for it, but it should not feel so overwhelming and so cumbersome where it becomes more like a chore than a pleasurable thing that you're doing. Again, drive back to your why. Why are you doing this? Are you doing this thing just to be known for having a beautiful farm stand? Or are you doing this to earn extra income to have more family time? Spread the word. Again, social media is fantastic, but start close to home. Your neighbors, your church, your local community. Talk where you normally go. If you have clubs that you participate in, if you have a community center that you engage with, if you have a church that you are connected with, ask locally what people like, what they dislike, listen to that. But don't assume that because you have this amazing product that everyone where you work or live wants to buy that same thing. That doesn't always happen that way. Also share updates on Facebook or on Instagram. Consider posting valuable information, valuable content related to your product or service, and see how the community engages with that. But don't just post one time thinking everyone's going to jump on that post. You need to continue to readily engage and see where that goes. I personally like using local Facebook groups. I think local Facebook groups for your community are a great place to ask those kinds of questions. Use the search bar. Chances are there's somebody else who's in that group who has already searched for that same thing or searched for that same product or service. Ask what people want to see. Once you have your product or service, as long as it's okay in those groups, you should be allowed to post something related to that product or service. Again, you may not be able to sell and have, strawberry jam $5 or whatever, or a loaf of bread for $8. You may not be able to post that in the group, but you might be able to post something to the effect of, what I really love to put on my sourdough bread? Fresh strawberry jam. It's amazing. And if you have a picture of your strawberry jam, maybe a picture of some sourdough bread, that photo alone is going to drive comments and drive engagement. You can have a very final call to action. Hey, if you want to learn more about this, let me know. Next, encourage customers to spread the word. When you have customers who are willing to engage, they are happy to help share about your amazing products. So some common roadblocks. Challenges do come up. We have to realize that. There are going to be times for limited, either you to have limited time, you to have low traffic. There's going to be some times of slow sales. We set our farm stand up for a month, every Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with no sales. We set it up for a month. We thought we were stupid. We thought this is horrible. Are our prices too high? Are our products not what people want? Do people not know enough about us? What is the burden? What is the problem? And it was about us asking these questions and understanding your local customers may not be your neighbors. They may not be your family. They may not be your friends. And that's okay. But when we consistently showed up, we consistently provided amazing, high value, high quality products to a specific customer base, that's what sold. The key is to start where you are and just keep showing up. Keep doing it. Small, steady steps will lead to growth. Don't give up. Don't get frustrated. Keep going. The idea is that you've got this. Your stand doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing in the world to be helpful and powerful. Small beginnings really do grow into steady streams of income. You're sowing seeds today for tomorrow's harvest. Think about that. What you are doing today is helpful for tomorrow. Start where you are, share what you grow, steward it well for your family and your community. Don't wait. You have to start. You have to start right now where you're at. So, what is that going to look like for you? It's a good question. Know your why, then determine what you want to do, determine how you want to do it, and think about who you want to sell that product or service to. I'd encourage you to check out our step-by-step farm stand startup checklist, our farm stand success 90-day roadmap that we have. You'll find the link in the description below. It's your guide to launching and planning your farm stand, how to pick products that sell, simple ways to market them locally, and tips to keep your farm stand running smoothly and family centered. We're also getting ready to launch our new book, The 5-Figure Farm Stand, which is going to be a more step-by-step guide to helping you launch and grow and scale effectively. So, if you found this video to be helpful, let me know in the comments below where you are at on your farm stand journey. We'd love to hear from you, and catch you on the next one.